Hello, 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 good people. This is today's mega catch up on the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Last time we moved we've done the live from 1 to 3, then from 4 to 6, then from 7 to 9. So, from starting with 10, we have not really delved deep into the details of the laws and everything. I don't know how many of you guys have been with us on this journey from law number 1 to law number 9, or if we actually need to first do a bit of catch up, and then after doing the catch up, we can move to the rest of the laws. We need to end by law 21, then we'll move to 22 on the short. Um, yeah, we're gaining ground. I hope we are learning together. I hope that we get to improve what we do, how we think. Yeah, lots of things. Anyway, let's get straight into it. My name is Joel Narimanya. I'm Ugandan, living in Kampala, working in telecom. What else? I own a car business. What else? We also do rapping and teams and things and those Subaru accent colors and the brake calipers and everything. So that's everything about me. I also love to read. I love to read books. And as part of my accountability this year, I've decided that I will be sharing what I read in the books. That way, I cannot read the book and then halfway into it I throw it away, because then there will be people waiting to like hear from what we have to read, yet there is nothing. So yeah, it's sort of an accountability thing for me that I get to share what I learn from these readings. That way it is much easier to like share and project and express myself, and also not read one chapter and close the book. Yeah, I hope some of you who actually get into reading understand that it's very easy to lose morale, lose momentum, lose traction when you're reading alone. Yeah, so for those of you that were not around when we went live for law number 1 to 9, we're going to do a brief overview and then we'll go deeper, starting with law number 10 to 21. So the book remains The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and law number 1 is never outshine the master. Plain and simple. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. And in your desire to please them or impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish their goals. Yeah, some of the bosses can be insecure. Inspire fear and insecurity. Like it's the last opposition of one being. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you'll attain the heights of power. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you attain the heights of power. And this, if you're in a boardroom, for example, you're saying, Joel, we thank you for this idea. It has given us this much revenue on top of, and we're grateful for you. Your response should not be, oh, Man City cannot be the best. You have not seen the Manchester United with Michael Carrick. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Sarah. But I insist you need to join Manchester United. But well, on the City Arsenal game was a very big part of Manchester City. It's a team that I don't like. I don't hate, and just somewhere in between. But yeah, back to the book. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for joining. Subscribe. Let's learn together to agree. Uh, so, in cases where your bosses are present, you don't have to take a cream, and we'll get to that later on. So, miracle number, let me see. It's a number 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take a credit. So, which applies to the bosses in this case. But yeah, law number 2, we'll do the catch up until law number 9, and then we delve deeper. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Yeah. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused by envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy and he will be more loyal than a friend because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from your friends than your enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make one. Well, that will be taken with a pinch of salt. But the point here is that your friends really know their way around you. They know you're good and bad, and they can use any of that against you. But also there is the laxity of, this is my friend and it's my friend's business. Why do I really need? Like, he will understand that I've gone to see my girlfriend. He will understand that I've gone to church. He will understand that I've gone to watch Man City like Sarah play girlfriend of a refiner. Like, he will understand. But your enemy is already self-aware. They are thinking, oh, this person does not trust me. They're just giving me a chance. So yeah, I think let's actually start
clearer. All right. So law number 3 is conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelop them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. Yeah, it's as clear as that. Like, conceal your intentions. If you're going to Kabale, tell people that you're going to Kampala. If you're flying to Nairobi, uh, wake up and just move. Like, don't let me actually, I think I took some of the notes somewhere. Let me read something for law number 3 that I remember really standing out for me. So, Otto von Bismarck. Does any of you guys know Otto von Bismarck? Oh, you've forgotten your high school stories. Otto von Bismarck wanted war with Austria, but he concealed it behind peace negotiations until he had everything in place. And that way, Austria never saw it coming. Like, he prepared full well for the war, but was disguising, was giving the false clues and the false ideas that it was never going to be, oh, let's have peace, let's talk. Yet he actually wanted war. So you use decoy goals and like you speak vaguely, like sort of go around the circle so that your intentions are concealed. That is it for number 3. So number 4 is always say less than necessary. These are siblings. When you're trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear and the less in control. Even if you are saying something banal, it will seem original if you make it vague and open-ended and things like powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. Yeah, there is also something I wrote here around that same long. You know, you guys, you should consider having what is it called? Dotted notebooks where there are no lines, because then you can mind map and draw and just have your free mind learning. Yeah, for those in Uganda, I know a plug for these are called Easy Notes. Yeah. And yeah, Forest for All, Forever. They're good products, I can confirm. Anyways, every extra word you speak is ammunition for your enemy. In movies, at that point where they always say everything can or will be used against you. Yeah, this is exactly what this law is preventing you from, because clearly, even in real life, everything you say can and will be used against you. Yeah. So anyway, let me not go deeper into this law. You will go back and watch the short. So let's go to 5. Let's go to 5. So much depends on your reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is a cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation unassailable. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, this is to be taken with a pinch of salt, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputations. Again, to be taken with a pinch of salt. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. So clearly, like the verse in Proverbs, for those of you that read the Bible, your reputation, your reputation, your reputation. Guard it with your life. This is what Robert Greene is saying. Then law number 6, court attention at all cost. Yeah, court attention at all cost. And everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing. Never let yourself get lost in the crowd, then or buried in oblivion. Stand out. Be conspicuous at all costs. Make yourself a magnet of attention by appearing larger, more colorful, more mysterious than the bland and timid masses. Make sense? Then also have notes on that as well. Did you guys ever hear about a guy called P.T. Barnum who would engineer controversies? Maybe you need to read the book, or maybe you need to subscribe and hang out a lot on this channel so we can. I'm sure we will discuss P.T. Barnum at some point. Yeah, court attention at all costs. So this is something from my notes. Being ignored is worse than being hated. If nobody is talking about you, you don't exist in the game of power. This is exactly what we're discussing. These are 48 laws of power. Again, if you don't want power, it's not for you. But if you want power, you have to be talked about. And it is better to be hated than to be ignored, especially in the game of power and politics. Right? Yeah. Let's move on. That was law number 6. So we're almost at 9, and then we'll go to the ones we have not covered before. So get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Simple as that. This is a game of power. Use the wisdom, knowledge, and legwork of other people to further your own cause. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed. No water for me, guys. Yeah, but I'm starting to feel, wait. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed. In the end, your helpers will be forgotten and you'll be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. So it speaks to the idea of delegating work, and also sort of combines it with the idea of, when your boss takes credit for the work you've done and things. And you think about it, a guy like Thomas Edison. Did Thomas Edison really make the light bulb himself. Do you think he did? I don't. I don't, because at least there was a cleaner, at least there was a person ironing their shirt, so that they can focus more of the time on doing the actual work. At least there was someone holding the wires. They were using the soldering thing to put them together. Must have been some idea of teamwork. But Thomas Edison is all we know. Yeah. So get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Law number 8, make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Make other people come to use bait if necessary. When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control. It is always better to make your opponent come to you, abandoning his own plans in the process. Lure him with fabulous gains, then attack. You hold the cards. Make other people come to you. Don't go to them. Rule number 9, win through your actions, never through arguments. Any momentary triumph you think you have gained through argument is really like Pyrrhic victory. The resentment and ill will the resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any momentary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate. Make sense? So law number 1 to 9 is really what we had already discussed. This was like a brief catch up, but now I feel like this flow is more simplistic. Maybe we should approach using the same, and where I need to bring in my notes, I will, and where you have questions, you can type them in the chat and we will be able to go over them together. So, law number 10, infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery. You can die. In Uganda, they said no fa never kuzika. Yeah, but that literally means that you can die. Yeah. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. Jim Rohn calls them diseases of the mind. And if you have not listened to Jim Rohn, you're missing out on a lot. He's a very, very intelligent man that you need to listen from. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves because of how they think, and that's what they attract. I hope you guys have heard about the law of attraction. Yeah. They will also draw it on you. Associate with the happy and the fortunate instead. Yeah, there is that common analogy of if you hang out with 5 poor people, you're the 6th. Then if you hang up with still 5 rich people, you're the 6th. You get to choose. You get to sort of pick and choose. Yeah. Law number 11, learn to keep people dependent on you. Learn to keep people dependent on you. To maintain your independence, you must always be needed and wanted. Must always be needed and wanted. It is a question of breaking the bread or giving them their own table. Do you let people go out independently? Do you give them their own table? Or you actually, on your bread, you cut a slice and hand them over? That way, when they need more bread, they'll come back to you and no longer a slice. Does that make sense? So, the more you are relied on, the more freedom you have. Make people dependent on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you have nothing to fear. Never teach them enough so that they can do without you. Like, teach them just enough to keep them dependent on you. I remember a really live example, but I, well, I can't share it here since it's live on camera. But does this give you examples of when this law was applied on you? Like when this law was applied on you, and you're like, you could have helped me with capital to start this business, but instead, you're comfortable with me coming to look for a 50K from you every week. Yet I have this idea and it only needs 100K, and you have the 100K. You get. But the law is saying, where the more you are relied on, the more freedom you have. Make people depend on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you have nothing to fear. Never teach them so that they can't do without you. These are not my words. Blame them on Robert Greene, but also I think I agree with them entirely. Yeah. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Selective honesty and generosity. One sincere and honest move will cover over dozens of dishonest ones. Open-hearted gestures of honesty and generosity bring down the guard of even the most suspicious people. Once your selective honesty opens a hole in their armor, you can deceive and manipulate them at will. A timely gift, a Trojan horse, will serve the same purpose. Law number 12. Very dangerous ideas, but yeah, the real world is that ruthless. In my notes, I took something like one genuine act of honesty can make someone trust you completely. Not because you can be trusted, but just because they feel like you care. Even when everything else is a performance. A single honest or generous act can disarm and open people up. Use it to strategically build trust. Yeah. Give before you ask. Time is everything. It's even in a networking meeting. When you're networking, it is easier to say, how can we help you? What can I do for you? I do A, B, C, and D. And after this conference, I'm flying back to Uganda at this time. So we can grab coffee. I can guide you on how to optimize your social media. And now, with that offer of I can guide you on how to optimize your social media, then the other person is anticipating value from you. Because at the end of the day, self-interest, everyone is interested in themselves. No one cares about you. They care about what you have to do for them. Make sense? Yeah, so. Law number 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest. These two laws are siblings, never to their mercy or their gratitude. If you need to turn to an ally for help, do not bother to remind him of your past assistance and good deeds. He will find a way to ignore you instead and cover something in your request or in your alliance with him that will benefit him. In Kampala and in Uganda, in Africa in general, the question is Mfunirawa, the person that you're going to for help. Where do they benefit from in that arrangement? Yeah. And emphasize it out of all proportion. He will respond enthusiastically when he sees something to be gained for himself. So that whole idea of Mfunirawa is not like it's not a one-on-one case. It's a general, like every human being has that need to benefit from whatever arrangement they're participating in. So everyone will always be asking themselves that question. Yes, I'm helping Joel with A, B, C, and D, but can they help me with D and C? And also when they help or when they give, they are sort of saying, Joel might be broke today, but if I give him now when my salary is here, and for the salary earners, please, you know what to do. If I give him something, he will probably, like at a later stage, get me out of trouble. There is no single person who helps you because they like you or because they're willing. It's even if you help your own girlfriend or your own wife, you're helping them majorly because you believe that they are my wife, first of all, so I have benefits to get, and two, they'll also get me out of trouble at some point. Yeah, so everyone is always looking out for themselves, in a nutshell. So when asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. Tala, law number 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is critical. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy yourself. In polite social encounters, learn to probe. Just keep asking the questions. There's something about asking the questions and then listening, and then asking questions and listening, and just asking questions and listening. Like this that I'm doing here is not advisable. Talking without asking you to share your opinions in chat. Please go ahead and share your opinions in chat. Subscribe. Let's be a part of this learning process together. Yeah. We ask indirect questions to get people to reveal their weaknesses and intentions. Yeah. And that's where the idea of not talking too much comes in. Yeah. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. Artful. Imagine that word. Artful, brilliant, wise spying. Yeah, let me show you something from my notes here. Pose as friend, work as a spy. Information is power, and the best intelligence comes from people who do not know that they are being studied. So ideally, before the meeting is the actual meeting. That time in the corridor with a few colleagues and what you're discussing before you enter the boardroom where your bosses are, that's the actual meeting. So if your boss can find a way to tap into that corridor conversation, that's the actual meeting. Alrighty. Now, law number 15 is one of the most controversial on the internet everywhere. Crush your enemy totally. All great leaders since Moses have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this the hard way. If one amber is left alight, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will seek revenge. So crush him not only in body but in spirit. Dangerous ideas, but I need to share this real world wisdom with you guys so that you're not taken advantage of. Yeah, I have something from my notes still. A wounded enemy is more dangerous than a strong one. If you're going to fight, finish the fight. If you do not intend to fight, don't start it. Tomaraga yingira before. In Uganda, that's the equivalent. Don't just move randomly. Fight if you are fighting. If you don't, be viveko. Yeah. Half victories make future enemies. If you must defeat someone, do it completely. Leave no room for resentment to grow into revenge. Avoid mercy in the wrong moment. Unfinished conflicts always resurface in the worst time. Don't humiliate, just neutralize completely. Neutralize silently. Remove the power, not just the person. Know when you're in a real war versus a skirmish. Yeah, it's like in business. Know what's real competition and what is not. You can't move around fighting with everyone in the market. First of all, the market is too big. So pick battles that you are willing to see through. And when you pick them, see them through. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, enough from my notes. Let's move to law number 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Don't be everywhere. Who is your favorite artist, if you were to think about them, or your favorite celebrity figure? Imagine if you had to see them every day at your local restaurant or in those places where you are. If you have to see them every day, it ceases to make sense. They cease to be the celebrities that they are. They start to be normal people to you. So, use absence to increase respect and honor. Like scarcity, it's a question of, in economics, it's a question of demand and supply. If you're very supplied to the community, then your value, your price goes down. But if you're not as around as you people would want you to be, your price now starts to go up and up and up and up. Yeah. So too much saturation makes the price go down. The more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporary withdrawal from it will make you more talked about and even more admired. Even if it's your friend group or you and the boys, it can be you that cannot meet every day, rather cannot miss everyday outings. Like every day the boys are out, you are there. Every day, I think the equivalent is the girls. Every day the girls are going out, you are there. For you, you have never had an urgent meeting, or like your life is very structured in a way that you never have anything that stops you and makes you come late, and you're always on time and you stay through the night until midnight. You don't have things to do. Do you not have side hustles? Do you not want to rest? Do you not want to watch Peaky Blinders or any of those movies alone? Like, use absence to increase your respect and honor. So, the more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporary withdrawal from it will make you more talked about and even more admired. You must learn when to leave. You can't be attending all meetings to the end. I mean, every meeting you are there to the end. Every meeting you are there to the end. Every meeting, no. Fine, get busy with your life. And even if you are not busy, this is a little secret. Even if you're not busy, just leave the meeting and go home and do other things. But you can't be always available for everyone until everyone is tired. Yeah. So the general idea in this law that I see is that you're creating value through scarcity. That analogy of the supply and demand curve in economics. So law number 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Don't be too predictable. Don't, like everyone will say that I know that if there is a Manchester United game, I'm a Manchester United fan. If there is a Manchester United game, Joel will be at 4 points watching the game on the 8th floor for 90 minutes. How predictable can someone be? Wake up one day and move to Kabira. Wake up and watch from a dive bar. Wake up and watch from wherever is comfortable. But don't be that predictable. Don't be like every time we see a red car that passes by, it's Joel driving by. I mean, oh, every time we see this black car, this white car, that's Subaru. Oh, this Mercedes. that is the other guy. Like, and he always passes at the same time. 8 going, 5 p.m. coming back. Mm-mm. That's not the way to do it. Humans are creatures of habit with an insatiable need to see familiarity in other people's actions. Your predictability gives them a sense of control, that is control over you. Uh, Turn the tables, be deliberately unpredictable. Behavior that seems to have no consistency or purpose will keep them off balance, and they will wear themselves out trying to explain your moves. Taken to an extreme, this strategy can intimidate and terrorize. Yeah, it can. So keep others in suspended terror if you are caught in power. Law number 18. Do not build a fortress to protect yourself. Like, do not. Isolation is very dangerous in and of itself. Let me read for you something. The world is dangerous and enemies are everywhere. Everyone has to protect themselves. Everyone has to protect themselves. A fortress seems the safest, but isolation exposes you to more dangers than it protects you from, because you're just there with your mind, and your mind alone can mess you up. It cuts you off from valuable information and it makes you conspicuous and an easy target. Yeah. And here, information and power. Remember, we are reading the 48 laws of power. Information and power, really. You cannot not have information about Iran and Israel today and you're caught in power. You cannot know, for my friends who are typing Man City in the chat, you cannot know about the final, Man City and Arsenal, the recent final. You cannot not have casual general knowledge, really. In our curriculum here in Uganda, there was a paper called General Paper in A level for people to have general knowledge of things going on, what's going on, what's the information. You don't need to watch TV every day, but you have to know what's going on. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, here, let's learn. So, information. You cannot be an island, your own island. Yeah. Wait, where were we? Yeah, here. A fortress seems the safest, but isolation keeps you more dangerous and protects you. It cuts you off from valuable information, makes you conspicuous and an easy target. Better to circulate among people, find allies, mingle. You are shielded from your enemies by the crowd. Yeah, you're shielded from your enemies by the crowd. This can be literally and it can also be like perspective. All right. Uh-oh. What's going on? Okay. Law number 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. And this is a serious one. Do not offend the wrong person. Understand who you're dealing with. Understand who they are. Understand why they are where they are. Tomaraga messing up with everyone. Whether you're in a bar or in church or in a restaurant or what. That one guy who comes for their child's PTA parents teachers meeting at the school and he's pushing people around. Don't over interfere. Tebikwatako. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver people, and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. While there are people who will hold you for 10 years and still look for you. There are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully. Then never offend or deceive the wrong person, because it will come back to bite you. All right. Do not commit to anyone. Law number 20. It is a fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. Makes sense? Yeah. Then on to the last law for the day. Play a sucker to catch a... Sorry, I think that was an unnecessary call. I think the audio was interrupted, but yeah. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. The trick then is to make your victims feel smart. And not just smart, but smarter than you are. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives. They will think you're dumb. And that's where you need them. All right. That is it for law number 21. When we return, we'll start from law number 22. Please subscribe, turn on your notifications bell. Let us learn together. So law number 22 is about using a surrender tactic. Then law number 23 is concentrating your forces. The whole idea of, if you have 1 can of water to irrigate with, do you irrigate 1 tree or 100 trees or an acre? All right. That is it for today's live stream. Thank you guys for joining in. Thank you for subscribing and turning on your notifications. I'll definitely catch you on the next live stream. Peace out.